I'm going to read this excerpt from this article from The Ringer that details a visit from Will Smith and the effects it had on the Lakers locker room during Russell Westbrook's final year with the Lakers. So here goes. 2 days after losing to the Blazers, the Lakers were back at their facility for a practice. Plinka informed the players a special guest would be coming through. He'd created a program called the Genius Series, where he'd bring in luminaries from various fields, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Kendrick Lamar, Elon Musk, to address the team. For this day, he'd secured an A-lister, Will Smith, just 6 months removed from slapping Chris Rock during the 94th Academy Awards. The team gathered in the film room to review the Blazers game. Ham was tough on the group, highlighting all sorts of mistakes that had led to the 0-3 start. When the session concluded, Pelinka came by. He'd already shown Smith the practice court. They shot free throws together, and Jeannie Buss's office. Now he told the players Smith was on his way to them. When Pelinka and Ham left to fetch him, LeBron, seated in the middle row, stood up. "Y'all got this," he said. He stormed out a back door. "Shit, man," Davis said. He stood and followed LeBron out. Stunned, the rest of the players sat there looking at each other, unsure what to do. "We're like, yo, what the fuck is going on?" one recalled. Westbrook rose next. "So, we all leaving?" he asked. "Nah, Russ," said Patrick Beverly, a brash veteran point guard the Lakers had acquired over the summer. "We gotta stay." Westbrook didn't understand. "What do you mean?" he asked. "Them two guys can do whatever the fuck they want," Beverly said. "They won a championship." As the two went back and forth, it became clear to the other players in the room that Westbrook was thinking as a 9-time All-Star and former MVP and future Hall of Famer, why would there be a difference between him and them? Plinka came back in. "We ready?" he asked. "We ain't ready," Beverly said. "We need 5 minutes." Plinka left. Minutes later, Ham re-entered and sat silently at the front of the room as Westbrook and Beverly continued arguing. He then stood up and exited through the same door LeBron and Davis had used. Soon after, he returned with both stars. Next, Ham went to get Pelinka and Smith. When they all returned, Smith was greeted with smiles and daps. Smith talked to the players about his new movie, Emancipation. He talked about overcoming adversity. He cracked some jokes at the team's expense. Then he opened the floor for questions. LeBron was first. He had a question, he said. Smith answered. Then LeBron had another question, and another after that, and another after that, and another after that. On and on he went, stretching what was supposed to be a 30-minute session into nearly an hour. The same guy who was trying to leave is now quoting back movie lines and going through the guy's whole entire life story, one attendee recalled, thinking. Seated in the third row, picking at a bowl of fruit, Westbrook watched in disbelief, shaking his head and rolling his eyes every time LeBron spoke. "I hate that fake shit," Westbrook said to a teammate afterwards as the Lakers gathered for a team photo. "I just can't do it." And it shows in this article the picture the team took after they met Will Smith. So you can see Westbrook with like a frustrated like kind of look he has in the picture. Yeah, he definitely looks frustrated. You can definitely see it. So yeah, I thought this was an interesting article. I thought it was pretty entertaining, but it really does show you the vanity of LeBron James in this article. That it's funny because he was impatient even waiting for Will Smith, and he decided to walk out of the room because he just couldn't wait. That to me really shows what a diva LeBron is, but it's not really surprising. I'm sure he's used to getting things on time whenever he wants it, and he doesn't tolerate delays, but it shows again just immaturity. He just couldn't wait and he had to get up. Now I get Westbrook's frustration when he sees both LeBron and a dummy, as I call him, walk out of the room, and he's thinking like, "Hey, I'm also a star. I'm established just like them. I should be able to get out of here." I know that doesn't seem right, but when you're a star, you're going to have that attitude. You're above the rest of the team. So I can see the conflict like right there. And I could also see why Westbrook was annoyed by LeBron when Will Smith eventually came in there, because LeBron initially didn't even give a shit about Will Smith coming. And then when Will Smith is there, he starts acting all fake and chummy and sucking up to him and just having this long conversation with him, which I think was really about LeBron just getting the attention in the room versus Will Smith. Typical narcissist tactic right there, try to shine the light on themselves when they're not the guest of honor. So that doesn't surprise me. And like I said, it doesn't surprise me how LeBron was upset at the end when he said that he thought this was a bunch of fake shit that LeBron was doing. But I can also believe that LeBron could sense that. That's how Westbrook felt, because narcissists have a way of seeing when people don't respect them. They can sense it instantly. It's like their spider sense, that when people don't respect them, they can instantly see that, and they don't take accountability for it. They just view that person as their enemy. They never do the work to investigate, like, why does this person not like me? Instead, they just assume they did nothing wrong and this person's the enemy, and they do whatever it takes to take out that person. Now, obviously, I think LeBron could sense it from that meeting that Westbrook was disgusted with him. But even if he didn't, I'm sure teammates leaked it out to him and he was just like, yep, Westbrook got to go. But even before this meeting, the article detailed about how LeBron wanted Westbrook to get traded to the Nets for Kyrie Irving. The Lakers were not able to do that, obviously. So LeBron was bitter about this, but this was probably definitely the final straw between him and Westbrook. So yeah, I can definitely believe LeBron being determined to get rid of him after that incident. But I can't blame Westbrook. I think any rational person would have been disgusted by the fakeness that LeBron exhibited in that meeting with Will Smith. So like I said, not surprising, but just another mark against LeBron's legacy as a person, I would say. Not so much as a player, but just as a person, that he's a hardcore narcissist, and we can only hope that eventually this guy can finally be forced into retirement. I think the only thing that's going to force him into retirement is an injury. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this.